Hey y'all, it's Jen. Okay, so I'm going to do what sold for you today. A few of the things I've got, a few of the things I don't, because I delivered some stuff to the post office on Saturday, and I thought I would just let you know about those, and then we're going to ship the ones that sold between Saturday and today. Oh, but you got to check out my new light setup, okay? Back here is like the darkest part. Under the loft in my building I have two lofts. On the other side is where I photograph, so I've got it well lit with these same kind of lights. This side is just dark. I don't know. It's so hard to see when my son is pulling things. It's hard for him to tell what he's getting and, you know, that kind of thing. So anyway, we strung some lights up here, and I'm going to show you and see if it helps any with the lighting of the video. So that is much better for pulling stuff from inventory. I will link those lights down below in case you're interested in them. I'm about to go do an Amazon review for them right now because I love them. But it is still a little dark, so I'm going to turn on the lights on the other side of the room too. And also set up my ring light like I'm some kind of professional. This thing is blowing heat still because it was cool last night. We got to fix that too. Okay, it's a little warm in here. I'm not really one to do a lot of like referrals, but if y'all are not using Vendoo and you're listing and selling more than 50 items in a month and you want to cross list, or you already do cross list and you want it to be a lot easier process, let's look at Vendoo, okay? Of course, there's a link down there. I don't like push it hard, but I love it. I've been using it since they were in beta, and I've actually gone on and off of Vendoo several times just because, you know, the grass looks greener sometimes somewhere else, and let me tell you, it's not. Vendoo is great. Great, okay? And the reason I'm mentioning this now is because I want to pull up my cost of goods for all these items quickly, and then I can do that in Vendoo. It's so easy. It keeps up with a lot of bookkeeping things too for you, which is amazing to me, and I love to see my analytics because that pumps me up like, okay, I've sold this much, or because maybe I didn't sell this much yet, I know I need to get on the ball. Either way, I like to see it and know where I'm at for the month. It cross lists, delists, relists, marks sold for Posh and eBay automatically, so you don't have to worry about somebody buying it before you were able to delist from another platform. And then your analytics are there so you can see what you're doing for the month. It's great. I really love it. Okay, so what sold? I had 4 sales between Friday night and Saturday morning. The one eBay sale I had Friday night was an Adidas Climalite hat. Did not sell for a ton of money, but like $14.95 total with shipping. And then it cost me like $3.25, but that was really something I bought to help lower the cost of goods that day. I think I really paid 50 cents, but I bought some way more expensive things that day, and this really helped lower my cost of goods. It was super easy, simple to list, has not been listed that long, and I made a profit even after paying $3.25. I made a profit of $4.90. So I'm not mad about it. Didn't take long, made a little profit, and brought the cost of goods down for the rest of the items I bought that day. All right, now on Poshmark. I hate that I already shipped these without making a video because these are just a couple of cool little things that I found at yard sales that I sold. First, I'll do the one that's not so exciting. It was this kids pair of Sperry loafers, and they're like the lace-up loafers. These sold for $16. That was an offer that my Posher VA sent out. My Poshmark fees were $3.20. The cost of goods on this day, the average was $3.97, and my shipping expenses, because I sent the offer with Posher VA, another thing that's great to have if you don't have it, it sent also a shipping discount, which is required by Poshmark when you send an offer. So $2.02 was my cost for shipping because we do pay that discount out of what we make on the item. So my profit was $6.81. I'm not mad about that because that's, like I said, another item that was a quick seller. They've not been listed long. They were clean. I didn't have to clean them at all. Made a profit on an item that I really bought just hoping to make the money back on it. And then here are the 2 cool things that sold. To me, they were cool. I don't know, because I like vintage stuff and it doesn't always do well. You know, I thought when I started reselling that vintage was always going to sell. Everything vintage, if it looked cool, was going to sell, but it doesn't. It doesn't. These 2 things are both vintage and very cool and pretty good sales for vintage. This was a set of 3 silk like pocket square handkerchiefs. 2 of them were labeled Christian Dior. The other one just said 100% silk. I could find no brand name on it. There was an RN number, but it had nothing to do with anything I've ever heard of. I Googled it, couldn't find anything. but I listed it with them anyway. It was the solid colored one, but it did have a small flaw on it, which I showed in the very last photo. I put like a little ring around it so you could see it. But the other two were vintage Christian Dior. And they actually sold for my full list price at $52. We love a full price sale, right? So $52. The fees on that were $10.40. My cost of goods was $3.10, so I made a profit of $38.50 off of these little vintage hankies. Truth be told, I paid $1 for the set of 3. The girl had them all together at a yard sale. She even kind of looked at me crazy when I asked how much they were. Like, why would you want to buy these? And they've been sitting in my death pile. I finally listed them, and they sold within a couple days. The last thing that sold on Friday evening was a vintage apple seeds wool coat. I just grabbed it at the yard sale. I don't always look up comps at yard sales. Just thought it was cool. And I think I paid $1 for that too. But then my average cost of goods that day was actually $3.97 also. Went to go look at comps, and they were $40 to $50. Mine actually sold for $44. My Poshmark VA sent that offer out, and it expired like 5 days ago. And then the lady came back, and a lot of people offer less, but she didn't. She offered exactly what I offered. And of course, if she offers, then she doesn't get the $2 shipping discount that came with my offer. The good news is I actually made more money because she waited to send an offer till later and didn't accept mine. So I'm fine with that too. I always just love a cool vintage sale. Now we're going to move on to today's stuff, and I'm going to talk about it and pack it up at the same time. I have to stand up for this part. Hopefully today will not be as crazy of a shipping day as the golf clubs were. These are a pair of Reclaim denim jeans, like a low-rise boot cut, which of course is popular right now. I don't have a cost of goods listed in Vendoo for these, and the reason for that is because I have no idea where I got them and how much I paid. I'm sure it was last year in 2023, and I just could not find where I had written down what I paid and all that. So I'm just going to call this zero cost of goods. And I sold them for $15. That was an offer Poshmark VA sent out. So $3 in fees, $2.02 in shipping discounts. Profit came out to be $9.98. You probably heard me say this before, but you know, with Poshmark, you just have to get a priority mail. This is just a Tyvek mailer. One of my favorites. Pro tip. Put your label on first. Y'all, it makes so much common sense to put your label on first. I cannot tell you how stupid I felt the first time I heard somebody say do that on a video on YouTube. But apparently she had been doing the same thing. I don't remember her name, but she had been doing the same thing because she was like, seems like you would know to do that, right? Makes everything a lot easier. So I'm not the only one that did that, and I thought maybe I should say it too, in case anybody else out there is waiting until they put the item in the package to put the label on. Because with a box, that's what we do, right? I mean, that's just, you do it after you get it all taped up and everything where it needs to be, then you put the label. With poly mailers and these Tyvek mailers, hello, put the label on first. It will make your life a whole lot easier. This is a Lewin Gray loft top, and I like Lewin Gray as long as it's in larger sizes. It sells really well. This one I did not pay anything for. This is compliments of my mom cleaning out her closet and giving this to me, and so I appreciate that, Mama. It's eBay, and it's less than £1. So I'm not going to send it priority, so no Tyvek mailers or padded flat rates or anything like that. I'm just going to put it in an eBay mailer. And there we go. I sent out some offers. It only sold for $13.50, but that's okay. It was free, and it was clean, and it was easy to do. And then they paid for shipping, of course. Y'all are going to laugh at this one. I've had it forever, okay? But this is a New Tag LuLaRoe Supply Hooded jacket, floral sleeve, olive drab, women's size medium. Here it is. It sold for $16. I know I paid, I think, $2 for it long time ago. Back when LuLaRoe was just starting to kind of not get good anymore. And then the LuLaRoe documentary came out and it was like sales went. It's very heavy. I charged $8.95 shipping on this. That's what I used to charge for priority mail flat rate because it was like $8.30 with my discount. And it's now $8.74, and that's with my discount as being an eBay seller. So I have decided that going forth, I'm not going to go back and change any of the others, but it's not a huge deal. But going forward, I am going to have all of those packages that that would fit into a flat rate envelope or padded mailer. I'm going to change those to $9.95 because it's getting expensive to ship things, y'all. This is a personal item. I sold it on Mercari, and I don't even know how much I paid for this, like $150. This is a Fitbit Versa 4, and this actually sold on Mercari. I do list electronic things like this on Poshmark, just in case anybody's wondering. And I have had success with that. I sold a pair of Bluetooth headphones on there one time. Small electronics like this, I will put them on Poshmark for sure. And I listed this as being under £1, so we shall see. I think this sold for like $93 or something like that. It wasn't a ton of money. I accepted an offer because it had a little scratch on the screen, which I disclosed, of course, but I wasn't trying to make a killing off of it, just trying to get it out the door. All right, and there you have it. That's what sold over the weekend. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.